Why is this winter pattern reorganizing in ways that are defying every meteorological expectation for late December? And what does this mean for nearly 100 million Americans facing the warmest Christmas on record? Right now, as I speak to you during this blessed Christmas season, atmospheric conditions across North America are developing with an intensity that has veteran forecasters genuinely concerned about the next 14 days. A weather pattern that was supposed to deliver traditional winter conditions is instead unleashing what climate scientists are calling an unprecedented Christmas heat dome, a ridge system carrying temperatures 20 to 25 degrees above normal. Today is Monday, December 22nd, 2025, one day after the winter solstice, the day when, by God's will, our days begin to lengthen. In the next 22 minutes, I will explain in detail why this weather pattern is prompting emergency officials to prepare for one of the most unusual Christmas seasons in recent history. This developing situation is about to reshape Christmas celebrations across 28 states, affecting everything from outdoor church services to emergency preparations for vulnerable populations during what should be winter's coldest week. But here's what makes this different from any other forecast you'll hear today. I'll break down what every major metropolitan area can expect, including the temperature records that utility companies are preparing for right now. We'll examine the Sierra Nevada snowfall forecast that could deliver over 100 inches of snow to elevations above 8,000 feet, potentially the most significant Christmas week snowfall in over 40 years. Then there's the winter storm developing across the Midwest and Great Lakes that could bring heavy snow and ice conditions around Christmas, affecting travel for millions returning home. Plus, the pattern flip coming after Christmas that could trigger major winter storms and even severe weather events as we enter the new year. And perhaps most importantly, the preparations happening right now as utility companies prepare for unusual Christmas Day cooling demands while northern areas brace for potential winter weather. I'm using data updated within the last few hours from the Climate Prediction Center, National Weather Service, and emergency coordinators. These aren't predictions. These are the exact numbers that emergency planners are using for Christmas preparations. This isn't speculation. Emergency management officials across multiple states have activated their holiday weather protocols, and utility companies are positioning crews for potential record power demands. But first, let me explain why this temperature pattern has meteorologists using words like historic and unprecedented for the first time since the devastating Christmas blizzard of 1983. The ridge system currently building over the central United States is producing barometric pressure readings well above normal across a massive area, approaching some of the strongest late December patterns in recent records. We're tracking not gradual warming, but a rapid pattern flip that will deliver Christmas Day temperatures that could break records in over 40 major metropolitan areas. Computer models show remarkable agreement on these projections. This atmospheric pattern contains tremendous heat energy extending from the Pacific to the Central Plains. That's the kind of scale we're dealing with as families prepare to celebrate our Savior's birth. Here's what caught me off guard when I checked the latest model runs this morning. Multiple computer models are showing exceptional agreement on Christmas Day temperature anomalies across the central United States. Starting tomorrow and accelerating through Christmas Day, we'll see temperature rises of 15 to 25 degrees above seasonal norms, rises that can stress power grids and create concerning conditions for vulnerable populations. The Climate Prediction Center has issued its highest confidence temperature outlook covering over 85 million people. This is their way of saying record-breaking heat is not just possible, but likely. But here's where this pattern becomes truly remarkable. While the central United States experiences record heat, sharp temperature gradients will create winter conditions just a few hundred miles away. Temperature boundaries will establish dramatic contrast, some areas hitting the upper 60s while others face potential snow. These represent some of the steepest Christmas temperature contrast in modern records. High-resolution models show these boundaries remaining stable through Christmas weekend, a pattern that creates both record heat and dangerous winter weather simultaneously. Now, here's what has me most concerned as we approach the most holy night of the year. Multiple computer models show agreement on a major pattern flip beginning early January that could affect millions across the eastern states. Let me walk you through exactly what each major metropolitan area can expect over the next crucial days, because these details could determine whether your family celebrates Christmas safely. Starting with Texas. From Houston to Dallas, you're looking at the most significant Christmas heat event in recent state history. Current conditions show atmospheric patterns supporting exceptional warmth. Dallas specifically faces highs around 79 to 81 degrees Christmas Day, which would approach or exceed the previous Christmas record of 80 degrees set in 2016. This represents truly exceptional December conditions. Houston faces similar extreme conditions with Christmas Day highs potentially reaching 84 to 86 degrees. This could challenge the previous Christmas record of 83 degrees from 2015. Overnight lows will only drop to the mid-60s. San Antonio and Austin could see Christmas afternoon temperatures reaching 85 to 87 degrees, temperatures that would be considered warm for late September. Emergency officials are preparing cooling protocols. Fort Worth and the Dallas Metroplex suburbs face Christmas Day highs potentially reaching 82 degrees. Combined with light winds, this will create the warmest Christmas conditions in North Texas history. Moving northward into Oklahoma, where Tulsa faces Christmas Day temperatures potentially reaching 76 degrees, which would challenge the previous Christmas record of 73 degrees from 1922. Oklahoma City could approach 75 degrees. Wichita, Kansas could experience its warmest Christmas ever, with highs reaching 72 to 74 degrees. The previous Christmas record was 65 degrees, making this a significant departure from normal December conditions. Topeka and Lawrence, Kansas face similar conditions with Christmas Day highs around 70 to 72 degrees. Absolutely unprecedented for December 25th in Kansas. As we shift eastward to the Mississippi Valley, Little Rock, Arkansas faces Christmas Day highs around 75 to 77 degrees. Temperatures that would break Christmas records. Normal Christmas high in Little Rock is 49 degrees. Memphis, Tennessee is tracking towards 75 to 77 degrees Christmas Day, potentially challenging the previous Christmas record of 77 degrees from 2021. This represents a dramatic departure from typical winter conditions. Jackson, Mississippi faces Christmas Day temperatures near 75 degrees, while Shreveport, Louisiana could reach 77 degrees. Both representing some of the warmest Christmas conditions in over a century. New Orleans faces Christmas Day highs around 83 degrees, potentially approaching the Christmas record of 82 degrees set in 2015. Combined with Gulf moisture, this will feel distinctly summer-like. Now turning to the Ohio Valley, where the heat reaches historic proportions. Louisville, Kentucky faces Christmas Day highs around 72 to 74 degrees, potentially the warmest Christmas in the city's modern weather history. Cincinnati, Ohio could reach 72 degrees Christmas Day, making it among the warmest Christmas celebrations since records began in 1871. Emergency officials are preparing for unusual holiday heat. Indianapolis faces Christmas Day temperatures around 70 to 72 degrees, remarkable considering the normal high is 36 degrees. This represents one of the largest Christmas Day temperature departures ever recorded. Columbus, Ohio, and Dayton could both reach 70 to 72 degrees Christmas Day, potentially breaking previous Christmas records. The National Weather Service is monitoring these exceptional conditions. St. Louis, Missouri is tracking towards 74 to 76 degrees Christmas Day, which would significantly exceed the previous Christmas record of 61 degrees. This represents unprecedented Christmas warmth. Kansas City, Missouri faces Christmas Day temperatures around 72 to 74 degrees, potentially breaking Christmas temperature records dating back over 150 years. Moving into the Great Lakes region, where temperature contrasts become remarkable. Chicago faces Christmas Day highs around 65 to 67 degrees, potentially the warmest Christmas since detailed records began. Detroit, Michigan confronts similar conditions, with Christmas Day highs around 63 to 65 degrees, potentially among the warmest Christmas celebrations in city history. However, areas further north may see very different conditions. Milwaukee, Wisconsin sits on the temperature boundary, with Christmas Day highs ranging from around 60 degrees downtown to potentially much cooler temperatures in northern suburbs. Minneapolis-St. Paul faces dramatic contrast. While southern metro areas could reach 54 to 56 degrees, northern regions may experience near-freezing temperatures, with light snow possible Christmas morning. Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Green Bay, Wisconsin both face Christmas Day temperatures potentially reaching the upper 50s to low 60s, temperatures that would challenge Christmas records. Now shifting to the southeast, where Atlanta, Georgia faces Christmas Day temperatures around 72 to 74 degrees. This could approach the Christmas Day record of 75 degrees set in 2015. Birmingham, Alabama could see Christmas temperatures reaching 73 to 75 degrees. Extraordinary considering the seasonal norms. The previous record was 59 degrees in 2014. Nashville, Tennessee faces Christmas Day highs around 72 to 74 degrees, potentially approaching the record of 76 degrees set in 2016. Church congregations will experience spring-like conditions. Charlotte, North Carolina, and Raleigh could both reach 70 to 72 degrees Christmas Day, while Columbia, South Carolina, faces potential highs around 74 degrees, all challenging Christmas records. Jacksonville, Florida, could approach its Christmas record, with highs potentially reaching 78 degrees. Tampa and Orlando face similar record-threatening conditions in the mid to upper 70s. Miami faces Christmas Day temperatures around 82 to 84 degrees, approaching the Christmas record of 81.7 degrees from 2016. Combined with humidity, this will require air conditioning on Christmas. Transitioning westward, Denver, Colorado faces a remarkable Christmas forecast, with potential highs reaching 70 to 72 degrees, potentially challenging the previous Christmas record of 69 degrees from 2005. Colorado Springs and Pueblo could both reach around 70 degrees Christmas Day, while Albuquerque, New Mexico faces potential Christmas Day highs around 73 degrees, temperatures more typical of spring. Phoenix, Arizona faces Christmas Day temperatures potentially reaching 79 to 81 degrees, approaching the Christmas record of 78 degrees from 1980. Tucson could reach the upper 70s. Las Vegas, Nevada faces Christmas highs around 71 to 73 degrees, remarkably warm for the desert region during what's normally the coolest time of year. Transitioning to the Northeast, where conditions become completely different. Boston faces potential winter weather, with Christmas Day temperatures struggling to reach the low 40s. Boston specifically faces 2 to 5 inches of snow possible Christmas Eve night through Christmas morning. Logan International Airport has announced potential flight delays during peak travel periods. New York City sits in a critical zone where temperature profiles will determine precipitation type. Christmas Day highs may struggle to reach the mid-40s, with mixed precipitation possible. Philadelphia faces similar uncertainty, with Christmas Day temperatures in the mid-40s, but potential for freezing rain Christmas Eve night could create hazardous travel conditions. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore face the possibility of winter weather, with snow accumulations of 1 to 4 inches possible if storm systems develop, as some models suggest. Now, while most of the country experiences unprecedented Christmas heat, the western United States faces different challenges. California's mountains could receive extraordinary snowfall. The Sierra Nevada mountains face snowfall totals exceeding 100 inches above 8,000 feet through Christmas week. This represents potentially the deepest Christmas snowpack in decades. California faces very intense low-pressure systems with significant rain along the coast and very strong winds that could lead to power outages. Heavy mountain snow will continue. Oregon and Washington face similar conditions with substantial rain and mountain snow. creating challenging travel conditions along major Christmas travel routes. What's happening behind the scenes is remarkable. Faith communities and emergency officials are working together to prepare for these temperature extremes. Churches across Texas are preparing cooling centers for vulnerable populations, following protocols typically used during summer heat waves. The Salvation Army has activated multiple cooling stations. The Catholic Archdiocese of Dallas has coordinated with Red Cross officials to ensure adequate cooling capacity during Christmas weekend. Dozens of parishes are participating in emergency response. Baptist congregations throughout Oklahoma and Arkansas have modified Christmas service schedules to avoid peak afternoon heat, with many adjusting outdoor activities for cooler evening hours. Protestant denominations across the Ohio Valley are preparing for both extreme heat and potential winter weather just hours away by car, recognizing the dramatic regional contrasts. Mormon stakes throughout the Intermountain West are preparing for dramatic elevation-dependent temperature contrast, affecting mountain communities differently than valleys. Prayer chains have been activated across the central United States with specific focus on safe travel through these unprecedented temperature gradients. The American Red Cross has pre-positioned emergency supplies in strategic locations across temperature gradient zones, ready to assist travelers encountering extreme weather variations. Utility companies across the region have taken measures to prepare for unusual Christmas energy demands. Texas power companies are preparing for potential summer-level cooling demands. Northern utilities are positioning crews for potential winter weather, while southern companies prepare for record Christmas cooling loads. Here's what you need to do right now. Preparation windows are closing as temperature patterns intensify across the country. If you're in the heat dome areas, check air conditioning systems and ensure adequate cooling for elderly family members. Stock extra water for outdoor Christmas activities. For those traveling across temperature gradients, pack clothing for potential 40-degree temperature swings. Christmas Day travel could encounter vastly different conditions within hours. Check on elderly neighbors in heat-affected areas. Many prepared for typical December cold and may not have adequate cooling preparations for 80-degree Christmas temperatures. If you're traveling through Great Lakes regions, monitor conditions carefully. Temperature changes could create sudden weather encounters with little warning. For those in Northeast areas, prepare for winter conditions despite news about record heat elsewhere. Stock emergency supplies and prepare for potential winter weather. Christmas travel timing will be critical. Morning and afternoon conditions may differ significantly in the same location due to changing weather patterns. Airports are preparing for unusual conditions. Temperature gradients could create wind pattern changes affecting flight operations during peak holiday travel. Looking beyond Christmas, this heat pattern sets up potential changes for early 2026. The pattern flip coming after New Year's could be significant. Long-range models show agreement on pattern changes beginning early January. This could trigger winter storms across areas currently experiencing record heat. The temperature swing from Christmas heat to January conditions could be dramatic in some areas. One of the most significant seasonal transitions in recent years. Cities experiencing 80-degree Christmas weather could face temperatures 40 to 50 degrees cooler within 2 weeks. Infrastructure will need to adapt to these changes. The weather pattern responsible for this Christmas heat could shift dramatically, potentially triggering winter storms and severe weather across the same regions. Emergency management officials are planning for rapid transitions from extreme heat to more typical winter conditions affecting multiple systems. What makes this concerning is the atmospheric energy being built up. The extreme heat we're experiencing Christmas week could be released through significant weather events. Climate models are showing timing for this pattern change, with early January as a potential transition period. This allows for preparation opportunities. As we conclude this comprehensive briefing, here are the most critical things to remember for your Christmas preparations. First, the temperature extremes are significant and potentially concerning for vulnerable populations. Take cooling preparations seriously in heat-affected areas. Second, travel preparations must account for major temperature differences. Pack for both warm and cool conditions depending on your destinations. Third, the January pattern change could be rapid. Use the current period to prepare for more typical winter weather that's likely coming. Fourth, community support and faith will help us through these unusual conditions. Check on neighbors and remember that God's protection covers those who prepare wisely. Weather patterns can evolve rapidly, so continue monitoring the National Weather Service and local emergency information frequently. I'll be tracking these conditions continuously and providing updates as observations develop. Updates will come as conditions warrant. This has been your comprehensive Christmas weather briefing, designed to help families celebrate safely during this meteorologically remarkable time. Stay informed through official channels, stay prepared with appropriate supplies, and remember that proper preparation combined with faith provides peace during unusual weather. Whether you're dealing with record Christmas heat, mountain snow, or winter weather, community support will be essential. We're stronger together. Please share your location and temperature observations in the comments below, as your reports help track these developing patterns and could help others in your community. In my next forecast, I'll examine the January weather pattern already developing, a pattern that could bring significant winter weather to areas currently experiencing heat. This upcoming pattern shows signs of major winter storms and Arctic conditions that could affect the eastern United States, creating a dramatic contrast with current conditions. The transition from Christmas heat to January cold could happen rapidly, affecting infrastructure and travel conditions for millions during the first weeks of the new year. May God bless you and your families during this holy Christmas season, and may His divine protection watch over all travelers during these unusual conditions. Continue to lift up those in need through your prayers, whether dealing with unusual heat, winter storms, or travel challenges through changing weather patterns. Remember that our faith provides strength during both pleasant and challenging weather, and that God's design includes protection during times of change. Until our next briefing, stay safe, stay prepared for weather variations, and keep your eyes on both the forecast and the one who controls all weather. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for immediate updates as this Christmas weather pattern develops and as we track changes ahead. Your safety depends on staying informed. Share your observations. They help others in your community and support our understanding of these patterns. God bless and stay safe out there, folks. This Christmas will be remembered as meteorologically remarkable.